We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some news regarding the Tribal Chief and current undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, and more specifically WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin's opinion of the highly discussed WrestleMania 39 match between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, which has certainly been a hot button topic among wrestling fans ever since WrestleMania, with most feeling as though Vince McMahon and WWE made the wrong call by having Roman Reigns defeat Cody Rhodes to retain his undisputed championship. But clearly Stone Cold Steve Austin does not share that same opinion. Here's what Stone Cold Steve Austin had to say on the matter in a recent interview, quote, "I have a 5-star scale, okay? I'm going all in. To me, they got it just right. I was wondering how they were going to do this match. They built it perfectly. I told my wife, I think they're going 30 minutes. They ended up going just over 34, and it was a classic. I loved it, and they would not have changed a thing. I texted a couple of people who were involved, and I sent a one-word text, magnificent. I loved the finish. I loved all of it. Roman is so good right now, the story was there. Cody coming back from injury, coming back into the fold after he left from AEW, and putting himself in the position he's in right now, overcoming all this adversity as part of one of the most famous wrestling families that's ever been in the business, and trying to finish the story against Roman. I watched both nights of WrestleMania 39 very intently. To me, you can't take that belt off Roman Reigns right now. You want to get it to Cody Rhodes somehow, some way, sometime, but now's not the time. Let us know if you guys agree with Stone Cold Steve Austin that WWE actually got things right at WrestleMania 39, and that it was not time for Roman Reigns' historic title run to come to an end. Or do you feel like Cody Rhodes deserved that massive WrestleMania moment and win over Roman Reigns, and that it was basically a mistake to postpone Cody's likely future win over Roman Reigns? On a side note regarding Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Texas Rattlesnake also revealed some intriguing details on why he was not a part of WrestleMania 39 this year, despite all the rumors of him possibly wrestling on the show. And here's what Stone Cold had to say, quote, "I haven't spoken to this, but I'll give you the story. I met with some people from WWE. We talked about the possibility of me wrestling at WrestleMania 39. The biggest thing in my mind was the presentation and what kind of match it was going to be. Going back to 38, the way the KO thing was presented, I love KO. I turned that down 3, 4, 5 times until the creative finally came to what it ended up being. I didn't want it constructed as a real match per se. I needed something that could turn into one, and it did. But I think that's why we got away with it. The Dallas crowd was very receptive. I hadn't been around, so the timing was right. But to do a proper match, I'd have to be in off-the-chart shape. I told them, and this is the exact truth, I said, guys, I'm just fixing to go into production on the show. Stone Cold takes on America, and until we start production, I don't know what my life looks like. I can't commit. Sure enough, there was technical issues before we finished. I was supposed to finish a month before we did. There's no way, with the schedule I was doing, driving an RV all over God's creation, doing all I was doing, that I would be ready. I had 2 30-pound dumbbells, a 45-pound sandbag, and a 25-pound kettlebell, working 15 hours a day, then going in a 30 or 40-minute workout that doesn't get you ready for WrestleMania. And I was really protected at WrestleMania 38. This time, that was not going to be the case. That was a true statement. Until the show was over, I could not commit. A lot of wrestling fans were curious as to the direction WWE are going to head when it comes to the new SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley for the upcoming Backlash 2023 Premium Live event, and who Rhea would be defending her title against on the show, and we have some new details to share with you guys on the matter. According to one of our sources, Pro Wrestling Insider Elite, Rhea Ripley is reportedly going to be defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Zelina at Backlash 2023, with Zelina essentially going to be Rhea Ripley's first SmackDown Women's title defense. And while some fans would not mind seeing Zelina get a massive moment and dethrone Rhea Ripley of that SmackDown Women's title, as of right now, rumors suggest that Rhea will be retaining her gold at Backlash. Now there are some truly shocking rumors going around right now that suggest things will be changing big time behind the scenes in WWE ahead of the upcoming WWE draft, and these new rumors likely are not going to be sitting well with most wrestling fans. As most of you are likely aware, reports had been going around over the past couple of weeks that Triple H, the appointed new head of creative in WWE after Vince McMahon had stepped down and retired last summer, could have been losing his power behind the scenes, with Vince McMahon returning to his position of power and once again taking over the creative duties from Triple H. While in interviews, Vince McMahon tried assuring fans that he was not going to be involved with creative, at least not like he used to, and that Triple H would be remaining in his head of creative role with WWE. A breaking new backstage report has revealed that Vince McMahon is apparently slowly transitioning back into his role in creative, and that Vince is having more and more say when it comes to all the creative decisions in WWE on the main roster of Raw and SmackDown, and that Triple H is slowly losing his grip as the head of creative, with most of the major decisions now going through Vince, which means that the ideas that Hunter has must meet the approval of McMahon, something that was not the case prior to Vince McMahon returning to WWE earlier this year. Hence the recent rumors that Vince has literally been rewriting scripts for Raw and SmackDown lately, interfering with Triple H's work. It has been rumored that Triple H is very upset that his role as the head of creative in WWE is changing, to the point where he has basically once again been replaced by Vince McMahon, as reports suggest that Vince will be removing Triple H from that head of creative role when it comes to the main roster altogether, with Vince taking over these duties. And while speculation in the recent past suggested that Triple H could be on his way out of WWE soon, McMahon reportedly wants Triple H to resume his role of running the NXT brand exclusively, and not having anything to do with Raw's and SmackDown's creative duties. One of our sources has reported that Vince McMahon has quietly been back in his position of power in creative since the beginning of April 2023, just after WrestleMania 39, with the April 4th edition of Raw being the rumored show where Vince fully returned to power. So most of the storylines that have progressed since WrestleMania have been approved by Vince McMahon. Although it should be noted that Vince did change some of the plans for WrestleMania 39 as well, including that Lesnar-Omos match, although Vince apparently was not present behind the scenes on a regular basis at that time like he is now. While some WWE superstars are apparently upset about Triple H basically getting removed from that head of creative role for the main roster, apparently a lot of talent are not exactly that surprised with how things are going in WWE right now, and that they expected all roads would eventually lead to Vince McMahon returning to running creative again. Let us know your thoughts on Vince McMahon taking over Triple H's role as head of creative, and what are your thoughts on Vince's idea to have Triple H focus solely on the NXT brand moving forward.